fuck is this? You gave my movie a rotten rating, critics? Yeah, that is Megan's reaction to this movie getting harsh reviews from critics. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Megan 2.0. So Megan 2.0 is the sequel to the 2023 horror hit Megan, and yeah, it came out in the year 2025, and it is directed once again by Gerard Johnstone, just like with the first movie, and it stars Jenna Davis, Alison Williams, Violet McGraw, Ivana Sakno, Amy Donald, Jordan Alvarez, John Van Epps, Jermaine Clement, etc. And so, oh yeah, and also Aristotle Athari. Yeah, I just name him as well because his character is very important to the film. And it tells a story taking place 2 years after the events of the first movie. Well, I don't remember the movie implying that, but an article did confirm that this movie takes place 2 years after the events of the first Megan. So the underlying tech of Megan is stolen and misused by a powerful defense contractor to create a military-grade weapon known as Amelia. Gemma, Megan's creator, is trying to deal with her failed her failed invention, her failed creation, Megan, after all the other Megan branded dolls have gone rogue, and so yeah, now the government has their eyes on Gemma. But but although Gemma is trying to move on from it and is but it's still creating new tech, like different kinds of techs as ways to like improve on what she did with Megan. But then but Gemma has now become a fugitive after her Megan creation was stolen because there's like some suspicious activity that Gemma did not clearly shut down Megan. Gemma pretty much must make a mess with Megan, as Megan try is actually sympathetic, and there were some reasons and motivations behind Megan doing what she did in the first one. And but also, yeah, Gemma is also trying to keep her relationship with her niece Katie tight, but she fears that Katie would hate Gemma after finding out that Gemma is on Megan's side now, or at least Megan is siding with Gemma. So, but once Gemma and Katie have forgiven Megan and give her one last chance, Megan has gotten her upgrades to become faster, stronger, and more lethal, as she is recruited to take down Amelia once and for all. But is Amelia really the big problem here? Well, the movie does answer that in plot twist fashion, which I'm not gonna spoil. So yeah, now I did review the first Megan movie on my channel back in 2023. Now, yes, I did watch the movie late. I did see it late in theaters late, mainly because I was so busy in January. I was preparing for college and all that stuff. I had my college entrance exams, and I actually was not expecting to review this. I was actually not um, expecting that I would watch Megan in theaters, because I will say that actually did not have that much of an interest in Megan. I thought it was just going to be another cheap, generic, doll horror movie. And yeah, I thought it was like going to suck. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be yeah. But I know the first Megan movie technically did come out in January 2023, and I would have, but that movie releasing in January is not one of my reasons. As I am, you all know that I am a defender of January movies. I don't. Sure, it's far from one of the best months of the year, but of a year, but yeah. I mean, how the fuck can I hate on my own birthday month? But January movies just aren't as bad as people say. They're just not popular. There's like no proper blockbusters in January. So yeah, but then a few weeks later, I did eventually decide to watch Megan, and yeah, it was actually really good. I genuinely enjoyed the Megan. I think it is one of the biggest surprises of 2023. It's arguably my most surprising movie of 2023. Honestly, sure, Megan is not perfect. It's not even the best movie of January 2023. That would go to missing the sequel of Searching. But yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that. I think it is just like a fun movie overall, despite it being slow. I just love the characters and the storylines and the story arcs and all that stuff. But yeah, I will say, when they were making a sequel, I felt mixed on it. I had mixed feelings on it. On one hand, I was quite excited to see Megan back in action. But at the same time, though, I felt like it was a tad bit unnecessary because what were they going to do with the character of Megan? Like I was not sure on what they would have done with Megan, because they would have just told a they would have just done the same thing of just make Megan a horror doll and all that stuff. And all that stuff. Yeah, but then yeah, they played this. They showed this teaser. I mean, sure, the teaser was just Megan dancing, but Megan's new design, honestly, it looks really upgraded, and it kind of got me curious to see it. And yeah, but and when this year started, although it was far from being one of my most anticipated movies of the year, I eventually did come to terms with the fact that maybe this could be a pretty good sequel, and I wanted to keep my eyes open on it. But what really got my curiosity about this movie are the reports that this was going to be an action movie. I mean, like an action horror movie, like in the veins of Aliens or Terminator 2. Yeah, now I am a sucker for those types of sequels that turns action horror into action. Alien franchise did that, Terminator franchise did that, and now Megan franchise did that. Now, I first heard of this in like the test audience reactions where yeah, I mean the test audiences hated this movie. They hated the idea of turning Megan into an action film, and yeah, they hated it. So it was panned in test screenings, and but this idea actually got my interest in it. I was like, oh, this actually sounds pretty cool and very different from it. And then and then the CinemaCon reports came around. Yeah, and I was watching John Campea's report on the CinemaCon, and he said that he said the same thing that Megan is not a horror movie, but rather an action movie. Yeah, which like I said earlier, it got my interest. And then I saw that official trailer. It That official trailer had me sold. Oh my gosh, it actually it genuinely looked really good. Like it looked so fun. It looked so exciting. And yeah, that and the final trailer was even better, especially with a certain scene. Well, my profile pic reflects on that scene. So yeah, now, yes. So but unfortunately, though, this movie got mixed reviews. Like nowhere near the rave that the first one had, which really sucks because the first movie was rave. So considering that this one got bad reviews and the first one didn't, that is just unfair. Like as I'm recording this, it has a rotten score, a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. Now, when the movie came closer to release, it eventually got some backlash. Like there were people angry about this idea, but like nobody in when the trailer came out, people were excited for this. They loved the idea, and they said, "Look, it looks better than the first." So I wonder what made people. I wonder if people just eventually change their minds, or the haters decided to just wait until this movie was closer to release before just crapping on this one. Now, yes, guys, I did watch Megan 2.0 first before F1. First before F1. I actually was originally planning to watch F1 first before this one. But due to some circumstances and personal reasons, I ended up seeing this one first. And yeah, anyways, yeah, but 8 years later, even if I was more excited for years, 28 years later, and it's better. And so yeah, I saw this movie. And for today, yes, I saw this one first. And as for F1, I'll talk about I'll mention at the end. So yeah, now yes, after seeing Megan 2.0 for myself, I gotta say, this movie was fucking awesome, and it is even better than the first. Yes, guys, you heard me right, guys. Controversial take coming. I prefer Megan 2.0 over the first. Now, how better is it? Well, not a lot, but not by a lot to be honest. Now, I remember in my in my final trailer when I saw the final trailer, I thought that this is gonna be like a 5 out of 5 masterpiece or something like that. No, it's not a no. It's not a masterpiece that I was expecting it to be, but it's still genuinely it's still like yeah, it's still worth it. This is a film that has an acquired taste, so it's definitely not for everyone. If you're someone who's on board with the idea of turning Megan into a protagonist and changing genre from horror to action, then you will have a good time. But if you're upset that they ditched the horror element of the first and turn it to action, then yeah, the actual movie is probably not going to change your mind on it. Now, yes, Megan is one of those movies where it didn't really need a sequel, but what they did with this film is go Cars 2 mode and take a bit of uh Cars 2 mode with like turning like the make it like the movie is supposed to be. Like the first movie is something like I'm sure you know what I mean by that. The second film turns into an action movie from the first, like how Cars 2 eventually became like a spy action movie, despite the first one being a racing movie. Yeah, that's what Mega 2.0 did. But the only difference is that Mega 2.0 is actually better. And it takes itself a bit more seriously in comparison to Cars 2. Now, yes, while Cars 2, I still really enjoy Cars 2. I think Cars 2 is the best in the trilogy. Now, yes, the Cars 2 is still pretty ridiculous. It does have its ridiculousness, and yeah, it does have its ridiculousness, but Mega 2.0 is actually not as ridiculous as it's seen. It's actually taken a little bit more seriously than you think, but it doesn't stop. But it won't prevent the fun of the movie because yeah, it is a blast. I had a blast with it. I think turning Megan into an action hero in the sequel, taking this direction was the right move. And it was also a bold choice because given how it was clearly going to upset certain groups of people, it was not going to work for everybody's taste. Now, the movie isn't 100% perfect. I want to get my flaw out of the way. It starts out pretty rough. The narrative around the first 30 minutes is quite a mess, and not to mention, Megan herself, the title character, doesn't even show up within those first 30 minutes of it all. Like, not at all. Not even like a voice or like, that plastic Teletubby. Yeah, sure. There was that badass prologue with the perfect introduction for Amelia, but it had me worried that this was. But those first 30 minutes outside of the prologue did have me worried that it was not going to live up to my expectations, and frankly, even be a step down from the first one. But after 30 minutes, specifically with the scene, the home invasion scene, the action scene, that's where the movie truly got going, and it did not stop from the very end. Now, yes, we don't see Megan in the body until an hour in, but it is understandable because of how because how can Gemma quickly trust Megan after what she did in the first one? Yeah, so the movie takes its time for Gemma to fully trust Megan, so that's why Gemma had to restrict the Megan by putting her into placeholders where she can't really move anywhere, which is why we see Megan in this blue plastic Teletubby as described by her. Yeah, and by the way, I actually do love that plastic Teletubby thingy. It is adorable, and it gives her more charm. So I actually love how we see like so much of that, and even like we even see like this one mission where like Megan tracks down Amelia with like this with the that thingy on. So yeah, there's that. Megan has a much stronger character arc than the first, and that's actually one of the things that makes this better than the first one to me. There's actually more character development to be found here. Now, I personally related to Megan when she said that she only did those evil things like based on what she did in the first because she was upset. Yeah. Now I've done some really bad things in my life, like whether it'll be online or in person. But it's not because I'm a bad person, but because I get upset of the point where I can't control myself. That's that was the motivation for Megan. She just couldn't control herself. Like she was programmed to protect Katie, but she was so twisted to uh, that she just kill anyone who get in Katie's way. Yeah, she was actually never meant to be evil. That's what this movie tried to apply, and I like the idea. This was the perfect redemption arc for Megan. Aunt Gemma and Katie also had much more character development than the first, as they both they both must learn to give Megan a second chance. Yeah, of course, it started off with Gemma, and Gemma is technically the real main character of the first movie. And now people will be like, why? Why Gemma? Why is it not, blah, blah, blah. Well, to be fair, guys, uh, this is not, Katie was technically the main character in the first movie. If you think about it, it's not Megan, it was Katie. So now Gemma takes the main character role, just from Katie in the first one. And yeah, so yeah, and of course, not only do they must trust Megan, but they must also keep they also have this aunt and niece relationship that they have to maintain throughout, and they both like feel closer than they were in the first one. Their chemistry certainly is better. So yeah, heck, even Gemma's co-workers from the first Tess and Cole get much more to do in this sequel than in the first one. The fact that they went from side characters to main characters is just great. And but the MVP of the film, the best character of the film, well, tied with Gemma, is Amelia, the villain of the film. Amelia is on another level when it comes to mega antagonists. There's like so much aura to her, even from like the very first scene of the film where we're like already introduced to Amelia taking action. Yeah, there's like so much aura in her. Yeah, and yeah, Ivana Sakno crushed it. If you think that she was amazing in Ahsoka as like the henchwoman, yeah, you ain't seen anything yet from this bad girl. Now that she's playing the main antagonist role, she absolutely had much more time to shine than in Ahsoka. Even if project wise, Ahsoka is better overall. Then because I still love Ahsoka to this day. The climax. No wait, the action scenes absolutely kicked ass. Now yes, there's not a lot of action scenes, so don't go into this movie expecting that. But but yeah, the action scenes sequences are absolutely worth it. The climax is absolutely huge in scale. Yeah, the marketing unfortunately undersold the movie because it's much more than just Megan having to stop Amelia. It continues to have a social commentary on technology, specifically about how humans are the liability for the tech. That it could be their own fault if the tech goes rogue. Yeah, so that's like what this movie is trying to say. There's a huge plot twist in the movie, specifically involving a twist villain. Now, on paper, it is the kind of twist that's been done in other movies before. Like, and I mean, a hell lot of other movies, but this one finds a way to make audiences not see it coming. So, when the twist came in the actual movie, I was shocked. Like, as in, I had my jaw dropped, and I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah, holy shit, Lord." The performances were also better than in the first, with Alison Williams and Violet McGraw. But Ivana Sandno gave the best performance of the bunch for sure. And by the way, yeah, Megan's sense of humor, yeah, Megan's sense of humor is still there. Yeah, and her jokes are absolutely funny, especially those of vagina jokes. There is like this one joke that actually had me laughing out loud. Well, there was like an involvement with the Chinese minister, prime minister, and then someone from the government, like I forgot who. Like when he shook, like Megan was like trying to like Megan has like this audio over this like party for like TechCon, and the Chinese prime minister came. And then yeah, Megan was like trying to like search around. And then she was like making Gemma and Katie eavesdrop like the conversation with the guy and the prime minister. Like the guy said to the prime minister, "I'm very fond of China, but I have a very fond of something like that. I forgot the exact words, but like the audio, Megan's audio captured. I'm very fond of vagina. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, Megan did that on purpose. Like she made him sound like he was saying vagina on purpose, but actually it's just fond of China. Yeah, that was actually a brilliant joke. Oh, and also also there's also this one amazing f bomb that I gotta talk about. Yeah, remember the trailer where like we see Megan in this plastic Teletubby? She's like, "What the hell is this?" Well, in the actual movie, she actually says that's actually an F bomb, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah, it made me go, "Oh man!" Like something like that. Ooh, yeah, like that. Yeah, best, one of the best, one of the hardest PG-13 F bombs I've ever heard. I am not kidding. So overall, Mega 2.0 may be one of those films that requires acquired taste to truly enjoy it. But I was a target audience for this, so I had such a blast with it, and it was better than the first, despite it not being 100% perfect. Oh, I should mention as well that there is politics in the film too. So if you cannot stand politics in movies that you just want to enjoy, then you might get upset at this movie. But personally, I don't mind politics in movies as they don't take away my enjoyment, and I actually find politics to be an interesting topic. Honestly, one of my favorite school subjects. Well, yeah. So as I said, guys, I'm going to give M3GAN 2.0 a 4.5 stars out of 5. Awesome movie. Yeah, you critics are just hate fun. Just admit it. Yeah, you just hate fun. So also for my review on M3GAN 2.0, what are your thoughts on the movie? If you have seen it, would you agree with me that this is better than the first one? Or do you think that this movie is a step up from the first one? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my movie review on F1. Now, speaking of F1, I was about to say something about F1 at the end of this video. Well, what I was about to say is that I am recording this at a time when I'm like about to go see F1. Like after I record this video, I'm gonna be heading out now to see F1. Like, and then when I come back from seeing F1, I will edit and upload this video. So by the time I upload this video, I already saw F1 by then. So yeah. Anyways. Oh. Oh yeah. Also, I will. You know what? Screw it. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. So yeah. Bye, guys.